Mhm. Hey, Ray.
Hi, Gay.
How are you?
Can't hear you.
I said, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay.
You look like you're on the beach somewhere.
Snacking.
I see. With your dashiki on, having loads of fun. A little of because you didn't invite me along. You got that background that says you're partying.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Aqua, you hear me? Okay, but I'm having trouble hearing you guys.
Don't wait. Don't speak louder at us. Okay. Okay. Well, in other news, I don't know who Aisha is, but she's scheduled to meet with me at 7 o'clock. She just hasn't logged in online. I don't know. I might have been driving when I. No. Um, I don't know who she is or where she is. So she should call me. If she's not, she has nothing to do with the campaign. I'm thinking she's a patient. Yeah. I have no idea why I scheduled her for 7:15. And it looks like I did it last week. So I don't know who she is. Okay. Well, I don't really know Aisha. I know Gina called and I know her. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, he's a cutie. If, should I answer the question um if I want you to ask it, or what should I do? Say keep it in, take it out. Mhm, mhm. You can keep that in. You can keep that in. You can keep that in. You can keep that one in too. Nothing. How's this as an answer? Voters don't misunderstand anything about Albany politics. They feel hurt, betrayed, and slighted. They're not misunderstanding anything. Mhm. I don't, I don't know. Because okay. All right. This would be my answer. Ask that question again. Well, the at the foot of District 39, it's closest to New York City. And in Putnam County is not enough jobs. Well, that might have been okay many years ago. It's not okay today because people are priced out due to taxes and they still have to pay high costs for travel. Well, 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 District 39 goes all the way down to Phillips Manor. So that's only a few stops from 125th Street. So the typical thinking is that, oh, I could just hop on the train and I'll be in New York City in 20 minutes. I could work there. However, if your taxes are too high, you're being priced out. The infrastructure is very poor. So not only are you dealing with high taxes, you're dealing with floods because of the failing infrastructure. You may not have money to add travel and then food and having to to take care of all of those problems has one end result, and that is that you may have to move out of the neighborhood that you lived in for 50 years. Infrastructure and bring jobs. I know exactly what I would do. Mhm. Right. I did, but I think the cities need more attention and investment because the towns and villages are made whole by the county. Cities are not made whole. Cities pay their own way. And because of that, they often don't have enough money. And they're often over money with. Ray, did you tell her to cut some of these questions down? I think we need community action programs. I think it's so important for these rural areas, suburban and rural areas, to have a way to reach out to their senator. Cities typically have a way because most people think when I'm talking about a community action center, I'm actually talking about in the cities. No, the hardest people to reach are the people in rural areas. Yeah. Throughout the district, the infrastructure is, yeah, I'm giving you the answer to see if it flies. I can tell by Ramona's facial expression if I gave a good answer. So Ramona is the test. Okay, I can. And I want Ramona to give me that, like a wonderful parent, to give me that nod that I so desperately chased all of my life. Well, when you say improve, you sound as if there's this there's been this thriving transportation infrastructure that needs to be uplifted. It needs a makeover. Well, first of all, I would support fewer focus on homeowners to defray the cost for public services. That needs to not just stop, but at the very least, it needs to be brought to a screeching halt because it's not enough homeowners today. It's not enough homeowners to pay for public services. So we actually need public and private partnerships. Um, uh, okay, you can leave it. I'll work on it. Mhm, mhm. Small businesses need grant opportunities. Many of them have started, but they can't get off the ground. So they need some funding opportunity. What One of the things I would do is try to bring some kind of training where these small businesses can apply for to become women or minority owned businesses. Uh, yeah, yeah. And for those who are not women or minorities, they should be able to apply for another grant stream. They should be able to apply for funding. The basic premise for me is that every everything has been stripped from people, and the United States. Let's just focus on District 39. This whole notion that DEI was saving grace. What happened was more people than we care to mention lost their jobs. But since this happened, they have developed other ways of making money. However, they may not be able to start up, like buy tools. My neighbor cuts grass and would like to expand his business. So he needs to be able to afford more equipment. So we have to teach small business owners how to develop their business. And there are many people who can do that. And it should run right through a community action program. And the reason I think it should go through the community action program is that would be the way I would keep tabs on what's working and what's not. Well, you're not really giving away anything. Mhm. You're there. I like that question, but I want to set it aside because it really has to do with the infrastructure, but there are more employment opportunities than infrastructural repair. I'm not sure I understand the question. I think it should invest in agriculture, small business, um, uh, education and vocational training programs, and our schools. I support infrastructural development because housing development cannot occur on the old, outdated infrastructure. That's the first thing. So we have to make the repairs. The second thing, in that same vein, is workforce development. 40% of the people in that community must be hired. And they must receive a living wage. They right. They have to be paid based on the contractual agreement, but also based on the standard of, of other counties, and communities. Because what happens, especially in low income communities, in cities, if the fee is $50 per hour, what some businesses will do is hire two people and pay them both $25 an hour. That makes it not a living wage. Yeah. I don't, I don't think that's a good question. They, need to receive employment opportunities. Right. In New York State, in my district, for, first and foremost, I don't think homeless entities hire social workers. I think we, in order, this is a gaping hole. There's no longer a gap in the system. It's a gaping hole, and we have to bring people who know how to work with humans in their social environment. That's the first thing. The second thing is we have to stop using the blanket one stroke to provide services. In order to, okay. I don't remember. Mhm. Well, we have to work with the owners, the property owners. The problem is not keeping seniors in affordable in their affordable housing situations. The problem is helping the landlords who um, purchase these properties for reasons only known to them, but they purchase properties that have serious and persistent structural problems. And in order to make sure seniors can remain in their apartments, we have to work with the landlords to make the repairs. Because in a building of 200 people, if the landlord is receiving $1,000 a month, but the repair, and that includes the subsidy and the 30% uh, amount fee that the tenant pays. If the repairs is going to cost 300,000, we have just devastated the landlord. Yeah, I think that the entire prison system needs to be reformed, and I would love to see what choices we have around bail reform. Um, from my, okay, mhm, yeah, mhm, yeah. Well, the criminal justice system needs to be revamped. And we need to look at situations, not just case by case, but um, we should consider the crime, consider what we're doing today. An example of that is arresting people who committed crimes 30 years ago, these rape charges. What about the women in domestic violence situations who have already served 30 and 35 years? Have they worked toward reform? What have they done? I think once we set up a college to work with inmates, we ought to carry that to the next level. If a person ends up with a master's, then clearly they've learned something. And there can be work release. There can be many different kinds of reform, but as it stands now, women are punished almost 3 times more than men for crimes than men are punished for crimes against women. Women who commit crimes against men experience harsher sentencing, juxtaposed to men who violate women. It's only since the Me Too movement that there's been a lot of there's been a great push to hold these men accountable. But women who took action, and in some situations may have seriously hurt or even killed the person that was beating them, it's almost as if the courts have just closed the door. I know of one case. So I'm sure there are many, but I know of one. We have crime in local communities, especially crimes committed by teenagers against other teenagers. We have those crimes because we don't have anything for our kids to do. We haven't generated their activities, so they've taken action. They're generating their own activities. The same rule applies with adults, with an adult who doesn't have a job and needs money. The same, we haven't put anything in place. So I think one way to reduce crime is to bring job opportunities, bring recreational opportunities, and institute the SAFE Act. Children should not have guns. Mental health services plays a major role in public safety. I don't even know what else to say about that, because people who are healthy, even though they're struggling, they're trying to make something work. But if you add some kind of psychosis or depression or anxiety, you'd get a very different kind of behavior from a person. We don't have many mental health agencies in this district, and people need to have a place to go. Community action centers will connect with mental health programs. We will have private partnerships. A not-for-profit in any part of the district will consent to being they'll consent to attending a meeting every 3 months about their initiative and how it's helping the community. What are they doing? If you have a mental health program and a woman drives her car into the Hudson River, you have a problem and you don't have a mental health program. Mhm. And we have to do this all in one night. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I think violence. That's what healthcare issues are most. I don't know. That to me would be um, building a stronger hospital system. We have to work with the hospitals, with the hospital, because we only have one, to make sure it's operational and is able to meet the needs of its constituents. Mhm. I want to leave it because I don't know. We should vote against deregulation at every turn. That's the protection. Yes, yes. The news just asked that. Um, how we should prepare is first understand who we're servicing. Of course, we need to make environmental changes. But most people, when you ask that question, they don't really know what it means to prepare for environmental changes. So we all remember Hurricane Sandy. And you do remember that she ripped through my house. I the the change was in progress, but the person that was affected didn't get any help for about 2 years. That's a problem. We have to we have to connect these crises back to the people to see how they're impacted. My short answer is to say I would forge a relationship with Bill Gates because they have so much money. They can donate broadband to distressed cities. They can make donations. I don't I outside of that I don't know right now. Why? What I would do different is I wouldn't cut the programs that help people. The in the 39th district, Republicans have ruled for 50 years. The problems we have now can be pointed directly at them. I would not cut recreational services. I would not stroll in with the great big austerity plan to slash everything that I can see. I want to know how it works.
Answer. That's why I was like, whew, probably want to leave that. But no, you got it. You got it. So you good. Community and social issues. How should New York State address addiction and substance abuse? I know you got that. What programs would you support for youth development? I know you got that. How can the arts, culture, and tourism help local economies? You know, you got that. What role should community organizations play in shaping policy? Hmm. How do you plan to unite people with different political views? I'd probably leave alone too.
No, I don't think so. Different political views don't necessarily mean that we're going to be in the park fighting.
Yes,
I
they
think
do.
it's always important to understand each other and understand how one group is impacted by something that I'm doing. For example, if I'm told that we don't need a recreational program, well, there is the stalemate because we're going to have it, and whether or not it's going to come out of the back pocketbook of taxpayers is very different. And so I'd more want to know, how are you impacted by children having a recreational program? I would think they would be more impacted by children by having to pay school taxes when all of their kids are grown.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal.
That is more of an issue. That is more of an issue, and it doesn't have anything to do with setting up recreation services for children. Because make no mistake about it, and this is a hard no, our children will have recreational services. It's a hard no. We will have a pool. Yeah, we will have a community center. We will have all of those things regardless of who says no or what it costs or who I have to talk to.
Right. Okay. So let's do leader. Okay, we got just two more sections. Leadership and vision. What are your top 3 priorities if elected?
Public safety, education, and I don't have a top 3. I think we can do these things all together. And in
How
one
about
way or
how
another.
about seniors and veterans? Make that your top.
I could say seniors and veterans.
Yeah.
One question you didn't ask me.
Okay. What is it?
You didn't ask me about my you asked a lot of questions about the environment, about employment, but you didn't ask me about the people. How can the people help? Because this has got to be an initiative that they're invested in. The way I encourage residents to sign my petitions, it wasn't me saying, and I will put your 5 children through college. It was me saying, how can I help to make your life better?
Okay, so we can put that into the section in the next section, which is actually the the strong closing part.
I want to meet with my constituents every 3 months, have a full town hall in each district, so that one district isn't monopolizing the time of the other district. I want to meet with all 3 districts. I want to know what they're thinking about the services they need. The only way I'm going to know that is if I ask them, how can I help you?
Okay, so we got top 3 priorities. Okay, what legislation would you introduce first?
I'd introduce legislation to develop activities for children.
What would you work? Okay, how would you work across party lines to get things done?
Well,
you know what? I think the question shouldn't be how, would be it just simply is, would you work across party lines to get things done?
I would work across party lines to bring my goals and objections through to fruition only if I wasn't being asked to sacrifice anything that we just talked about.
Okay. What does
Otherwise, I will not consider working across party lines. I won't consider sacrificing the people who need us the most.
What does
you and I, let me just say this to
okay.
You and I spent the past 4 or 5 years working summer and winter youth, volunteering in summer and winter youth services. I'm just that committed. So that wouldn't be something that would be sacrificed.
Okay.
I don't think people should live in horrific conditions. Not something I would sacrifice. I think our infrastructure needs repair. I think we should attach a workforce development plan so that people are receiving a living wage. That is not negotiable. I'd rather wait to implement it than negotiate with a group of people who have been notorious at cutting the service.
Okay, where do you hope District 39 will be in the next 10 years?
I hope it'll be thriving. I hope the legislation that I introduce will be one of the founding uh, projects that kind of set development. And I have to clear this question up in my head, but I hope that the work that I've done will carry through to the next 50 years.
Okay. I just added the question that I forgot, which is, I'll say it more of a commentary about the property taxes. All right. Last section is strong closing questions. How do you stay connected to your constituents? I wrote that in because of what you said. On to the next. Why should undecided voters trust you with their vote? What separates you from your opponent, which we've already talked about that, so I'm going to get rid of that. That's a repeat. What issues keep you up at night as a candidate? What message do you want voters to remember after tonight? If elected, how will you measure success during your first term? Question.
I'll measure success by the amount of people that show up at a meeting to help me to understand what their needs are. That's when I think I'll be successful. What keeps me up at night now, and it has kept me up at night for many years, is children committing crimes against other children. And the fact that if they had other things to do, they wouldn't get it. They wouldn't buy guns. Guns wouldn't be a fancy thing for them. Why should someone who's undecided vote for me? Because they have access to me.
Right.
There's a running joke in Orange County. We know where she works and where she lives. And you can call any number on Facebook or on Google, and I pick up the phone. Yeah, that's why they should vote for me, because I will at least try. I won't broker any deals without telling them, hey, well, this is what, hey, Putnam County, this is what I'm told. You'll get this if you give up that. The only time I'm bringing that kind of deal with them is if everything is a sweet spot for them. I think we've gone through too much. It's so easy to cut services. It's just been easy. I mean, Donald Trump cuts services. Millions of people lost their job. And you can't find one Republican to stand up and say so, because if they do, they'll lose their job. I'm not wedded to the job. I'm wedded to the people.
Okay. Oh, I am. Oh, Ramona. Let me get her back in her chair because
She just left. How do you think I did?
you did good. What I don't want you to do though is I don't want you to like go long on each one.
Well, I won't, but
yeah. I think the answers were great. And the ones that I felt like, this gonna take some, like the bail reform, that gonna take some studying.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think I did good with the questions?
I think you did good with the answer. Yeah.
Can I go have my third ice cream now?
No, because you're gonna gain weight. Your face gonna look. Bang!
This don't seem right.
We can't have ice cream.
Listen, I had a dream about this young man that's working with me. I had a dream. He told me, You know, he got real close to me, and in a very sexy way. I didn't tell him this. And he told me, you need to wear more suits. So we were together this morning and we took a picture. And I told him about the dream where he told me I need to wear more suits. And he laughed. He said, I like suits. I think people get big respect when they wear suits. I said, well, I just gave away 10 suits because I lost so much weight. He's a young man and a handsome one too. He said, then you got to go buy 10 more. I said, thank you. I have permission. Can I tell my family that you gave me permission?
Oh, that is funny.
He was so tickled. He said, yeah, if they're too small for you, you got to get more.
That means that if you dreamt that meant that it's something on your mind that you go find Ray. The bathroom or something. Wait. Have mercy.
Okay, let me go check this. I have to talk to you about my it's been on my mind, that's for sure.
This is Joe. I um all right.
Hey,
Yeah. All right. So Ramona may or may not be back.
shouldn't we be paying? Okay, shouldn't we be paying $200 to send out those emails? Well, should I send you the money? Yeah, I really need to put some money in I do have money in the account. The the bank account. Uh, and I can put, huh? I do have money in there. Let me see. Yeah, no, it should be about $500. I just had to. Mhm. I